Picture a massive concrete wall standing between 1 trillion gallons of water and tens of thousands of unsuspecting lives. Now, imagine the ground beneath that wall is slowly turning into a liquid. In the heart of the American landscape, one of the country's most vital dams was being eaten alive from the foundations up. It wasn't a visible crack or a crumbling facade that signaled the danger. It was a silent, microscopic war where water was carving hollow veins through the very rock meant to support it. While families in the river valleys downstream slept soundly, engineers were uncovering a nightmare. The earth was dissolving into a fragile, hollow honeycomb. If the base snapped, the result wouldn't just be a flood. It would be a multi-state surge of destruction, a wall of water powerful enough to sever power grids, collapse bridges, and erase entire towns before anyone could scream. This wasn't some distant, worst-case scenario. This was a frantic, secret battle against time to save a structure that was never supposed to fail, but was moments away from a total collapse. This is the story of the disaster the world never saw coming, until the ground started to vanish. The Sleeping Giant, Lake Cumberland. To understand the danger, you have to understand the scale. We aren't talking about a local pond. We are talking about Wolf Creek Dam in south-central Kentucky, the guardian of Lake Cumberland. Lake Cumberland is a monster of a reservoir, one of the largest artificial lakes in the eastern United States. It stretches over 101 miles long, with a shoreline exceeding 1,250 miles. To put that in perspective, that is more coastline than the entire Atlantic side of Florida. At its peak, the water covers 102 square miles, larger than many major American cities. But surface area is just scenery. To an engineer, the only thing that matters is mass. Lake Cumberland holds roughly 6 trillion gallons of water. That is 23 billion cubic meters. It's enough to fill 9 million Olympic swimming pools. It's enough drinking water to sustain millions of people for years. Most importantly, it represents 50 trillion pounds of force pressing against a single point of failure. From the shoreline, it looks like a peaceful vacation spot. From an engineering perspective, it is a loaded weapon. An engineered landscape. Wolf Creek Dam itself is a titan of 20th century infrastructure. Standing 258 feet tall, roughly the height of a 20-story skyscraper, it stretches across the landscape for over a mile. Construction began in 1941, but World War II forced a pause as resources were diverted to the front lines. It wasn't fully completed until the early 1950s. This means the dam is a product of mid-century engineering assumptions. And as infrastructure ages, those assumptions are put to the ultimate test. The larger the structure, the more catastrophic the price of being wrong. The anatomy of a nightmare, Karst geology. The real villain of this story isn't the concrete. It's the karst geology beneath it. To a dam engineer, the word karst is the stuff of night terrors. Wolf Creek was built on soluble limestone. Over decades, the immense pressure of the reservoir forced water into tiny fissures in the rock. Because limestone dissolves in water, those tiny fissures became cracks. The cracks became pipes. The pipes became caverns. In plain English, the foundation of the dam was behaving like a giant, hidden sponge. While the dam looked solid from the outside, the solid rock beneath it was being hollowed out into an unpredictable honeycomb of voids and sinkholes. Piping, the hidden chain reaction. This led to the most feared failure mode in engineering, internal erosion, or piping. Piping is a self-sustaining death spiral. A tiny path forms, water moves through it, and that movement carries away soil and rock particles. As the material leaves, the hole gets bigger. As the hole gets bigger, the water flows faster. As the water flows faster, it carries away even more material. It is a hidden, subterranean chain reaction that accelerates exponentially. By the time you see the evidence on the surface, it's usually too late to stop the collapse. The world downstream. The US Army Corps of Engineers knew that if Wolf Creek failed, it wouldn't just be a flood, it would be a violent surge of energy. Normal floods rise slowly, giving people time to move their cars and pack their bags. A dam failure is different. It converts trillions of gallons of stored potential energy into kinetic momentum instantly. A wall of water would have raced down the Cumberland River corridor, obliterating. Infrastructure, roads, bridges, and rail lines would have been snapped like toothpicks. Power, hydropower plants, and regional electrical grids would have been knocked offline. Communities, entire towns in Kentucky and Tennessee would have been submerged under a surge they never saw coming. The $500 million battle. By the mid-2000s, the situation reached a breaking point. The Army Corps of Engineers took a radical, desperate step. They lowered the lake by 43 feet. This wasn't just a minor adjustment. It was a massive operation to reduce the hydraulic pressure on the failing foundation. It bought the engineers time, but it triggered a regional economic crisis. Boat ramps became cliffs of mud, marinas were stranded. Tourism, the lifeblood of the local economy, evaporated overnight. But it was necessary to perform one of the largest dam rehabilitations in US history. Over $500 million was pumped into the structure. This wasn't routine maintenance. It was invisible warfare. Crews worked around the clock to build a massive underground barrier. They used grouting, pumping specialized concrete mixtures into the hidden voids to freeze the dissolving rock. Cutoff walls, constructing deep concrete and steel walls through the heart of the dam and deep into the bedrock to block the water's path. The warning we ignored. Wolf Creek Dam is not an isolated incident. The United States has over 90,000 dams, and thousands of them are classified as high hazard, not because they are currently breaking, but because their failure would result in a staggering loss of life. Wolf Creek is a reminder that our most critical infrastructure is often the most invisible. We drive over bridges and live beneath dams without a second thought, trusting that the engineering will hold forever. The silent victory. Perhaps the strangest part of this story is that most Americans have never heard of it. We remember the disasters that happen, the Katrina floods, the bridge collapses, the dam failures that make the evening news. We rarely remember the ones that were stopped. Wolf Creek Dam didn't become a tragedy because engineers chose to fight a war beneath the earth. They spotted the invisible warning signs, spent $500 million, and worked for years in the dark to prevent a catastrophe that would have redefined the history of the American South. It is a testament to the fact that water is the most patient, relentless force on Earth. It never sleeps, it never gets tired, and it is always looking for a way through. At Wolf Creek, we stopped it just in time. But as our infrastructure continues to age, the question remains: where is the next silent clock ticking? The ghost in the foundation. To truly grasp the terror engineers felt, you have to look past the concrete and into the geology. Wolf Creek Dam was built on a perfect site on paper, but nature had a hidden flaw. The limestone foundation belongs to the Ordovician period, rock that is hundreds of millions of years old. Over millennia, slightly acidic groundwater had already begun carving out a secret world of caves and conduits before humans even arrived. When the dam was completed and the reservoir filled, the pressure changed the game. Suddenly, you had a column of water over 200 feet high, pushing down with immense force. This created a hydraulic head that acted like a pressure washer, forcing water into those ancient limestone cracks at high velocity. The first warning, 1968. The crisis didn't start in the 2000s. It started with a muddy swirl in the river. In 1968, workers noticed turbid water filled with silt and dirt, leaking from the downstream side of the dam. In the world of dam safety, clear water leaking is a problem, but muddy water is an emergency. It meant the water wasn't just passing through, it was carrying the dam's foundation away with it. If you lose enough dirt and rock from under a dam, the structure begins to sag. If it sags, it cracks. If it cracks, the lake takes over. Engineers rushed to perform emergency grouting, pumping thousands of bags of cement into the ground to plug the holes. It worked, for a while, but it was like putting a band-aid on a burst pipe. The water simply found new paths around the cement, continuing its slow, invisible feast. The engineering war room. By 2005, the technology used to monitor dams had advanced, and the data coming back from Wolf Creek was chilling. Instrumentation showed that the internal pressures were spiking. Sinkholes were appearing near the dam's embankment. The B-hole, a specific area of concern in the foundation, was showing signs of massive cavernous voids. The US Army Corps of Engineers faced a choice that would define their legacy: wait and hope, or disrupt the lives of millions to prevent a potential black swan event. They chose to fight. The project that followed was a feat of engineering that sounds like science fiction. Because they couldn't just turn off the dam, they had to perform surgery on a living patient. They used massive 50-inch diameter drill bits to cut through the existing concrete and deep into the bedrock, creating a continuous diaphragm wall. The barrier, a wall within a wall. Imagine trying to build a vertical puzzle 280 feet underground, underwater, through rock that is crumbling. Precision. The drills had to be perfectly vertical. A deviation of even a fraction of a degree at the top would mean a gap at the bottom, a gap the water would inevitably find. Materials. They used a special plastic concrete that was flexible enough to move with the dam's natural vibrations, but strong enough to block the high-pressure seepage. Scope. They installed nearly 1,000 of these overlapping concrete piles, creating a solid curtain of protection that finally, after decades of anxiety, separated the lake from the fragile limestone. The economic scar. While the engineers were celebrating their technical victory, the local community was grieving. For nearly 7 years, the lake remained at record low levels. The mudflats. What used to be pristine turquoise water became miles of sun-baked mud and rotting stumps. The marina crisis. Millions of dollars in tourism revenue vanished. Famous houseboats, for which Lake Cumberland is world-renowned, were trapped in docks that no longer reached the water. This is the hidden cost of infrastructure failure. Even when a dam doesn't break, the fear of its breaking carries a price tag in the hundreds of millions. Why Wolf Creek matters today. The story of Wolf Creek Dam is a masterclass in risk management. In a world that often prioritizes the new and shiny, Wolf Creek is a sobering reminder that our survival depends on the old and heavy. It teaches us that nature is patient. A dam built in the 1940s can be perfectly safe for 50 years and then become a death trap in year 51. Maintenance is invisible. You will never see a headline that says, "Dam successfully didn't break today." But that lack of a headline is the result of thousands of hours of expert vigilance. Infrastructure is a debt. When we build something as massive as Wolf Creek, we aren't just buying a dam. We are signing a multi-generational contract to watch it, fix it, and respect the power it holds. Wolf Creek stands today as a monument, not just to the men who built it during a world war, but to the engineers who saved it in a quiet, desperate battle 60 years later. It remains one of the most significant near misses in American history, a disaster that was averted by the narrowest of margins, deep in the dark, beneath the limestone of Kentucky. The legacy of the high hazard. While the immediate crisis at Wolf Creek has been stayed by a $500 million concrete curtain, the story serves as a chilling blueprint for the rest of the world. The high hazard designation given to Wolf Creek isn't a rating of how likely it is to fail. It is a measurement of the consequence. If you look at a map of the United States, it is veined with rivers, and those rivers are plugged with aging concrete. Many of these structures were built with a 50-year life expectancy. We are now entering the bonus years, where the materials are tired, the geology is shifting, and the climate is producing 1,000-year floods with alarming frequency. The human element, the watchers on the wall. We often think of dams as static objects, big, dumb piles of rocks and concrete. But the reality is that a dam like Wolf Creek is a living, breathing organism. Piezometers. Deep inside the dam, hundreds of sensors measure the pressure of the water trying to push through. Inclinometers. These detect if the massive embankment is leaning by even a fraction of a millimeter. The inspectors. To this day, teams walk the gallery, the dark, damp tunnels inside the belly of the dam, listening for the sound of rushing water where there should be silence, and looking for the cloudy leaks that signaled the original crisis. The engineers who saved Wolf Creek didn't just use drills and grout. They used courage. It takes a specific kind of bravery to walk into a government office and tell officials that a vital piece of the American economy needs to be drained and dismantled because of a feeling about the rock 200 feet underground. They risked their careers on a disaster that hadn't happened yet. A global warning. The battle at Wolf Creek is being mirrored globally. From the Oroville Dam crisis in California to the Three Gorges Dam in China, the world is realizing that water is a tenant that eventually wants its house back. As we look toward the future, the lessons of Wolf Creek are clear. Over-engineering is a myth. There is no such thing as too strong when you are fighting 50 trillion pounds of pressure. Respect the foundation. You can build the strongest wall in the world, but if the ground beneath it is weak, the wall is just a tombstone. The cost of prevention is always cheaper than the cost of failure. $500 million sounds like a fortune, until you calculate the cost of rebuilding Nashville, Tennessee, or cleaning up the environmental wreckage of a trillion-gallon tidal wave. The final silence. Today, the water in Lake Cumberland has returned to its sparkling turquoise heights. The tourists have come back, the houseboats are floating, and the mudflats are once again a hidden memory beneath the waves. Most people crossing the bridge over the Cumberland River don't look down and think about the microscopic war that was fought beneath the tires of their cars. They don't think about the plastic concrete or the 1,000 overlapping piles that are currently holding back a multi-state catastrophe. And that is exactly how the engineers want it. In the world of infrastructure, silence is the ultimate success. The story of Wolf Creek Dam is a rare tale of a disaster that was successfully kept in the dark, not through a cover-up, but through a monumental triumph of human will over the patient, relentless power of water. It stands as a silent sentinel, a reminder that underneath our modern world, there are forces we have tamed but never truly conquered. We have bought ourselves more time, but the water is still there. It is still heavy, and it is still waiting.